Boys, what is up? In today's video, we're going to be talking about a request from a viewer. He wanted me to make a tier list for Masters 2 and higher, but I don't think that really works too well, just because higher Masters and Grandmasters, it doesn't really work with like a tier list. It's more like using A comp beats B comp, B comp beats C comp, and then C comp beats A comp in like a circle pattern. Yeah, so in this video, what we're going to be talking about is basically the three main comps that are used in Arena are basically just the bare bones, and like some units can be changed out in those comps, and we'll talk about what units can be changed in and out on these comps. So let's hop right into the video, guys. Alright guys, so the first team we're going to talk about on this list is going to be the Alpha Eclair comp. This comp is really good for countering teams with Monocle and also some herbs too sometimes, depending on how that comp looks. But this is mainly to beat those Espresso Vamp comps that you see in Arena. So let's break down why this team works and how it does counter those comps. Alright guys, so for this comp, we're going to be running Finn, Caramel Arrow, Affogato, Eclair, and Unicorn with the toppings of Monocle, Scroll, and Robes. I have ran this comp on the channel before. Go check out one of my previous videos as we do some limit testing, you could call it, with this team. We did run this team. It did fairly well in Arena. Like I said, though, this is a counter to those pesky Espresso Vamp comps. You can see my British Ash can't speak English way better than you. I know he can. Okay, I'm copium at talking, bro. I have good days and I have some good days and some bad days. You know, man? Can't have a good day every day, you know, man? Fuck. Fuck, dude. You don't have to be mean about it, bro. Oh my god. Okay. Let's go to here. Where are we gonna hide all types? We're gonna get my chocolates back. I need my cooldown. Right? It's cooldown? I think it's this one, right? Yeah, it is. Bing bong. Put that on there. Bet. Alright, so as far as the toppings we're running on this team, we're gonna be using... Yeah, I forgot how to English. I always forget how to English, though. As far as toppings on this team, guys, we're going to be using full cooldown on Finn. We're going to be using full Raspberry on Caramel Arrow with a focus in. We have some damage resist. We really just want attack speed and attack, though. At least 10% attack speed and at least 50% attack. Seems to work pretty well. With Affogato, we're using full almond with a focus on damage resist here. With Eclair, we're running full almond with a focus on damage resist as well. And on Unicorn, we're running full almond with a focus on damage resist, cooldown, and some attack speed. You just want to make sure the highest attack speed cookies on this team are Caramel Arrow and Unicorn, so you get that robe buff procced off. Alright guys, so why I say this team works so well against Monocle is mainly because of Affogato right here. Affogato, what Affogato does is essentially puts a debuff on the enemy which poisons enemies. If that debuff is dispelled by Monocle, Herb, or really anyone that can dispel debuffs, that poison damage will do an extra 551% damage to nearby enemies, which is huge. It could it does a lot. It's basically a hard counter. So basically they heal and then they lose that health again from this poison damage you're doing. Also with this, it doesn't allow the enemies to gain any buffs for 10 seconds with the curse. Let's talk about some characters that can be flexed on this team. Oddly enough, this comp can flex out Affogato for Sorbet. Sorbet doesn't work as well because sometimes units tend to push back and he misses. He's not as consistent as Affogato is. Affogato is a lot more consistent with it, and I found I win a lot more with Affogato. Not to say that Sorbet doesn't have his upsides, especially when you're fighting triple tank comps. Honestly, it might be beneficial to run a Sorbet in that comp if you're fighting a triple tank comp because he will fucking destroy the whole front line. Alright guys, so let's talk about the second team on our list here, which is Summoners. Alright guys, so I know you're looking at my team. Yeah, my Summoners team is ass. I don't really run Summoners too much. This is a good counter comp, especially to those Affogato comps. It's a fairly good counter. Also can counter those other comps. So I would say probably this is like probably the best like all around like arena team right now, which is Summoners. So if you do have them, I would say build them for sure first. They are pretty bust and pretty stacked. This team is going to consist of Oyster, Cotton, Sorbet, Pumpkin, and also Crunchy Chip. As far as the treasures we're running, of course, a Jelly Clock. We're running Pin Cushion, and we're also running Attack Scroll. For Crunchy Chip, I run full Raspberry on mine because I don't have really any good crit jellies. The recommended topping set would probably be crit jellies with the good damage resist subsets. You could also run half and half. You could do raspberries, 3 raspberries, 2 crit. That also can work too. On Sorbet, we are running full almonds. On Pumpkin, we're also gonna be running full almonds. On Oyster, I am probably gonna run like 4 almonds, 1 cooldown. Probably what I'm going to run unless I can get some really banging cooldown pieces. But as of right now, I don't have very many banging cooldown pieces. And then on cotton, you're running full cooldown as well. With this team, 1 unit can be flexed on this team, and that is going to be sorbet. You can flex sorbet. Sorbet doesn't have to be used. You can flex sorbet for espresso, clotted, or even unicorn if you need extra healing. This is a pretty versatile team with the flex units you have on this team, and this is, I would say, is probably the king of arena as far as team goes right now. This is probably the king of arena as far as teams. Alright guys, let's get into our final team right now, which is gonna be the espresso vamp comp. The espresso vamp comp consists of Finn, Caramel Arrow, Espresso, Vampire, and Unicorn, with the treasures of Jelly Clock, Scroll, and Monocle. Monocle can be swapped, however, for Insignia. That can get past some of the Affogato counters, so just do keep that in mind as well. And also can provide more healing for the team as far as like the amount of heals you get. As far as toppings on this team, on Finn, we are going to be running full cooldown. On Caramel Arrow, we're going to be running full Raspberry. On Espresso, we're going to be using full Raspberry. On Vamp, we're going to be running full Raspberry. And on Unicorn, we're going to be running full almonds. Now, this team is a pretty good all-around team. This team can beat summoner comps sometimes. I have very rarely beat a summoner comp with this team, but it is possible to beat summoner comps with this team. I just don't know the exact way to do that yet, obviously. I get my ass washed every time. I stay away from summoner comps in arena. But this team is also a good option to have as well. This is probably the lowest cost team here, just because Espresso and Vamp, if you played the game quite early, you probably already have these units in your box. You probably already have the candies for them too. Alright guys, so as for flex units on this team, you can mix and match quite a bit with this. You can use Parfait instead of Espresso on this team. It doesn't work too well, but it can be done. You can also replace Finn for Milk, but if you replace Finn for Milk, you need to change out the toppings on Caramel Arrow to full almonds. You could also replace Espresso for Milk too if you need a more defensive comp. This is probably the most, I said the other comp was more versatile. This is more versatile in a way that you can mix and match some of the units. So the core units on this team are going to be Vamp, Unicorn, and also Caramel Arrow. Espresso and Finn can be swapped out, both of them. So if you don't have units, you could use Milk instead in some situations. It's just very situational when you would swap those units out. So just keep that in mind for when you're battling other teams. So if you see like 3 tanks, maybe you could go for a swap in for a sorbet or something like that. Or if you see a summoner team, Milk actually doesn't do bad against summoners by taking the aggro of all the summoners. So you can maybe use Milk on this team instead of Finn. That could go well for you. But yeah, if you guys want to check that out, I do have a video out with Milk on the channel of beating a summoner comp with him. So yeah, Milk kind of pog. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. So I hope these teams I show you help you out in arena for higher arena. I hope this is a better solution or alternative to a tier list for higher arena. These are the main teams that people use. Like I said though, there are many variations of these teams, but if you take the core units of these teams, like the core cookies of this team, and you can mix and match some cookies on the team, and it will give you similar results or better results in certain circumstances. So yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today, and I'll catch you in the next one later. Bye bye.